Hey there, beautiful learners. Aurora here, and I have something absolutely incredible to share with you today. Have you ever been in a conversation with a native English speaker and felt like you understood every single word they said, but somehow the overall meaning just didn't click? Or maybe you've been studying English for years, you know all the grammar rules, you've memorized thousands of vocabulary words, but when you try to sound natural and fluent, something feels missing. Well, my friend, what's missing are smart expressions. Those magical little phrases that native speakers use every single day without even thinking about it. These expressions are the secret sauce that transforms robotic, textbook English into smooth, natural, confident conversation. And today, I'm going to share with you 50 of the most powerful, most useful smart English expressions that will completely revolutionize the way you speak. But here's the thing, and this is crucial, most English learners never learn these expressions because they're not taught in traditional textbooks. These are the real-world phrases that native speakers pick up naturally through years of conversation, through movies, through daily interactions. But you're going to learn them right here, right now, in the next few minutes. By the end of this lesson, you'll have 50 brand new tools in your English toolkit. 50 ways to sound more natural, more confident, and more like a native speaker. So grab your notebook, get comfortable, and let's dive into these game-changing expressions. Let's start with expressions that will make you sound incredibly smart in professional situations. The first one is to get the ball rolling. This doesn't mean literally rolling a ball, of course. It means to start something or to begin a process. For example, in a meeting, you might say, "Let's get the ball rolling with our quarterly review." In Portuguese, this would be something like "Vamos começar" or "Vamos dar início." I remember when I first learned this expression, I was in a business meeting in New York, and the manager said, "All right, team, let's get the ball rolling on this project." I was so confused because I looked around for an actual ball. But now, this expression is one of my favorites because it instantly makes you sound proactive and engaged. The second expression is to think outside the box. This means to think creatively, to find innovative solutions, to approach problems in unconventional ways. You might hear someone say, "We need to think outside the box to solve this marketing challenge." It's like saying, "Pensar fora de caixa" in Portuguese, exactly the same concept. Here's where it gets interesting. Expression number 3 is to touch base. This is a beautiful way to say you want to contact someone briefly or check in with them. Instead of saying, "I'll call you," you can say, "Let me touch base with you next week." It sounds so much more professional and natural. Native speakers use this constantly in business emails and phone calls. Now let me share expression number 4, which is absolutely essential. To be on the same page. This means that everyone understands and agrees about something. For instance, before we continue, let's make sure we're all on the same page about the project timeline. It's such a smooth way to confirm understanding without sounding repetitive or boring. Expression number 5 will blow your mind. To cut to the chase. This means to get straight to the point, to skip the unnecessary details and focus on what's important. Picture this scenario. You're in a long meeting, people are talking in circles, and then someone says, "Let's cut to the chase. Do we have the budget for this project or not?" Boom. Instant clarity and direction. Let me tell you about expression number 6. To bite the bullet. This means to face a difficult situation bravely, to do something unpleasant but necessary. For example, I know studying for the TOEFL is challenging, but you'll have to bite the bullet if you want to get into that university. It's like saying, "Engolir o sapo" in Portuguese, you do what needs to be done, even if it's tough. Expression number 7 is incredibly useful in daily conversation. To hit the nail on the head. This means to be exactly right about something, to identify the core of a problem perfectly. Imagine you're discussing why a project failed, and someone says, "You hit the nail on the head. We didn't communicate effectively with our team." It's such a powerful way to acknowledge accuracy and insight. Now, here's expression number 8, and this one is pure gold. To break the ice. This means to make people feel more comfortable in a social situation, especially when meeting for the first time. Let's play a quick game to break the ice before we start the presentation. Every English learner needs this expression because it shows social awareness and emotional intelligence. Expression number 9 is to spill the beans, which means to reveal a secret or give away information that was supposed to be confidential. You might say, I wasn't supposed to tell you this, but I'll spill the beans. There's going to be a surprise party for Maria next Friday. It's playful, it's natural, and native speakers love using it. The 10th expression is absolutely crucial for anyone who wants to sound sophisticated. To beat around the bush. This means to avoid talking directly about a topic, to speak in a vague or evasive way. You might say, stop beating around the bush and tell me what really happened. Or you could say, I'm not going to beat around the bush. We need to improve our sales performance. Let me share something fascinating with you. These expressions aren't just random phrases, they're cultural bridges. When you use them correctly, you're not just speaking English. You're connecting with the culture, the mindset, and the way native speakers naturally think and communicate. Expression number 11 is to pull someone's leg, which means to tease someone or to joke with them in a playful way. Are you serious about quitting your job, or are you just pulling my leg? It's completely different from the literal meaning, and that's what makes these expressions so beautiful and challenging. Number 12, to cost an arm and a leg. This means something is very expensive. Instead of just saying it's expensive, you can say that new iPhone costs an arm and a leg. It's colorful, it's memorable, and it shows you understand English humor and exaggeration. Expression 13 is to kill two birds with one stone, meaning to accomplish two things with a single action. I'll walk to the bank. That way I can get my exercise and deposit this check. I'm killing two birds with one stone. Efficiency and smart thinking, all wrapped up in one beautiful expression. Here's number 14, to let the cat out of the bag. This means to accidentally reveal a secret. We were planning a surprise birthday party, but Tom let the cat out of the bag when he mentioned buying decorations. These animal expressions are everywhere in English, and they add such personality to your speaking. Expression 15 is to make ends meet, which means to have just enough money to pay for your basic needs. With inflation rising, it's becoming harder for many families to make ends meet. This expression shows you understand economic realities and can discuss serious topics naturally. Now let's move into expressions that will help you in social situations. Number 16 is to break a leg, which ironically means good luck. You'd say this to someone before a performance, presentation, or important event. You're giving a speech tomorrow. Break a leg. It's the opposite of what you'd expect, and that's what makes English so wonderfully unpredictable. Expression 17 is to be in the same boat, meaning to be in the same difficult situation as someone else. Don't worry about struggling with English pronunciation. We're all in the same boat here. It creates instant connection and empathy. Number 18, to see eye to eye. This means to agree with someone completely. My boss and I don't always see eye to eye on marketing strategies, but we respect each other's opinions. It's perfect for describing relationships and levels of agreement. Here's expression 19, to take it with a grain of salt. This means to be skeptical about information, to not believe everything completely. He said he's fluent in 10 languages, but I'd take that with a grain of salt. It shows critical thinking and wisdom. Expression 20 is to go back to the drawing board, which means to start over because your current plan isn't working. Our marketing campaign didn't increase sales, so we need to go back to the drawing board. It shows resilience and willingness to adapt. Let me pause here for a moment and tell you something important. Right now, you've learned 20 smart expressions that most intermediate English learners have never encountered. But we're just getting started. The next 30 expressions are going to take your English to a completely different level. Expression 21 is to burn bridges. This means to damage relationships in a way that makes future cooperation impossible. Don't burn bridges with your current employer. You might want to work with them again someday. It's about maintaining professional relationships and thinking strategically. Number 22, to cross that bridge when we come to it. This means to deal with a problem when it actually happens, not to worry about it in advance. What if it rains during our outdoor event? Let's cross that bridge when we come to it. It shows practical thinking and stress management. Expression 23 is to throw someone under the bus, which means to sacrifice someone else to save yourself or to blame someone unfairly. When the project failed, the manager threw his entire team under the bus. It's a strong expression that shows you understand workplace dynamics. Here's number 24, to bite off more than you can chew. This means to take on more responsibility or work than you can handle. I think I bit off more than I could chew when I agreed to teach 3 classes while finishing my master's degree. Self-awareness and honest evaluation, that's what this expression demonstrates. Expression 25 is to add insult to injury, meaning to make a bad situation even worse. First, they delayed my flight by 6 hours, and then, to add insult to injury, they lost my luggage. It perfectly describes those moments when everything goes wrong. Now let me share number 26, to steal someone's thunder. This means to take credit for someone else's idea or to diminish someone's moment of glory. I was about to announce my promotion, but Sarah stole my thunder by announcing hers first. It's about timing, recognition, and social dynamics. Expression 27 is to jump on the bandwagon, which means to join a popular trend or to support something because everyone else is doing it. Everyone's jumping on the cryptocurrency bandwagon these days. It shows you understand social psychology and group behavior. Here's 28, to weather the storm. This means to survive a difficult period or to endure challenging circumstances. The company had financial problems last year, but we managed to weather the storm. It's about resilience, persistence, and hope. Expression 29 is to turn over a new leaf, meaning to start behaving in a better way, to make positive changes in your life. After his health scare, John decided to turn over a new leaf and start exercising regularly. It's about personal growth and transformation. Number 30, to put all your eggs in one basket. This means to risk everything on a single opportunity or to depend entirely on one thing. Don't put all your eggs in one basket. Apply to several universities, not just one. It's about smart risk management and planning. Are you starting to see the pattern here? These expressions aren't just vocabulary. They're windows into how English speakers think, plan, and navigate life. They reveal cultural values like resilience, practical thinking, humor, and social awareness. Let me continue with expression 31, to read between the lines. This means to understand the hidden or implied meaning in what someone says. She said the meeting went fine, but reading between the lines, I think there were some serious disagreements. It shows emotional intelligence and communication skills. Expression 32 is to take the bull by the horns, which means to deal with a problem directly and courageously. Instead of complaining about your English level, why don't you take the bull by the horns and sign up for conversation classes? It's about taking action and being proactive. Here's 33, to have your cake and eat it too. This means to want the benefits of two conflicting things. You can't have your cake and eat it too. Either you prioritize work or family time, but you need to make a choice. It's about recognizing trade-offs and making decisions. Expression 34 is to let sleeping dogs lie, meaning to avoid disturbing a situation that might cause trouble. I know you're curious about why they broke up, but let sleeping dogs lie. It's not our business. It shows wisdom and respect for boundaries. Number 35, To keep your chin up. This means to stay positive and optimistic during difficult times. I know job hunting is stressful, but keep your chin up. Something good will come along. It's about encouragement and maintaining hope. Expression 36 is to face the music, which means to accept the consequences of your actions. He cheated on the exam, and now he has to face the music. He'll probably be expelled. It's about accountability and taking responsibility. Here's 37. To get cold feet. This means to become nervous or scared about something you plan to do. She was excited about studying abroad, but she's getting cold feet now that departure time is approaching. It's a natural human emotion that everyone can relate to. Expression 38 is to keep your eye on the ball, meaning to stay focused on your goal or to pay attention to what's important. I know there are distractions, but keep your eye on the ball. Graduating is your top priority right now. It's about focus and determination. Number 39, to go the extra mile. This means to make more effort than expected or required. If you want to improve your English quickly, you need to go the extra mile, practice speaking every single day. It's about excellence and commitment. Expression 40 is to burn the midnight oil, which means to work late into the night. I've been burning the midnight oil to finish this presentation for tomorrow's meeting. It shows dedication and hard work, though not necessarily healthy work-life balance. Let me share 41. To have a chip on your shoulder. This means to feel angry or defensive because you think you've been treated unfairly. Ever since he was passed over for the promotion, he's had a chip on his shoulder. It's about understanding emotional states and workplace psychology. Expression 42 is to open a can of worms, meaning to create a complicated situation or to start dealing with a difficult problem. If we start discussing salary differences, we might open a can of worms. It's about anticipating consequences and managing complexity. Here's 43. To roll with the punches. This means to adapt to difficult situations and keep going despite problems. Starting a business is challenging, but you have to roll with the punches if you want to succeed. It's about resilience and flexibility. Expression 44 is to throw in the towel, which means to give up or surrender. The project was so difficult that half the team wanted to throw in the towel, but we persevered and finished it. It's about recognizing when people reach their limits. Number 45. To get your ducks in a row. This means to organize things properly before taking action. Before we launch the new product, let's get our ducks in a row. We need marketing materials, inventory, and staff training. It's about preparation and systematic thinking. Expression 46 is to miss the boat, meaning to miss an opportunity. I wanted to invest in that company, but I hesitated too long and missed the boat. Their stock price doubled. It's about timing and decision-making. Here's 47. To rock the boat. This means to cause trouble or to disturb a stable situation. Everything is going smoothly with the project, so let's not rock the boat by changing the timeline now. It's about stability and strategic thinking. Expression 48 is to take something with a pinch of salt. Similar to grain of salt, this means to be skeptical about information. He claims he ran a marathon in under 2 hours, but I'd take that with a pinch of salt. Healthy skepticism and critical thinking. Number 49. To be barking up the wrong tree. This means to pursue the wrong course of action or to have incorrect assumptions. If you think I'm the one who ate your sandwich, you're barking up the wrong tree. I've been in meetings all day. It's about misdirected efforts and false assumptions. And finally, expression 50. To turn the tables. This means to reverse a situation, especially to gain an advantage when you were previously at a disadvantage. The team was losing 3-0 at halftime, but they turned the tables and won 4-3. It's about comebacks, strategy, and never giving up. Now, here's what I want you to understand. These 50 expressions aren't just vocabulary items to memorize. They're cultural codes, emotional connectors, and confidence builders. When you use these expressions naturally in conversation, something magical happens. Native speakers immediately recognize that you're not just someone who studied English, you're someone who truly understands English. But here's the secret that most people miss. Knowing these expressions isn't enough. You need to practice them, use them, make them part of your active vocabulary. Start with 5 expressions that resonate with you. Use them in conversations this week. Notice how people respond. Feel the difference in your confidence level. Remember, every single native English speaker uses these expressions without thinking about them. They learned them through years of conversation, through movies, through daily interactions. But you just learned 50 of them in one focused session. You've just accelerated your English learning by months, maybe even years. Here's my challenge for you. Choose 10 expressions from today's lesson. Write them down. Create your own example sentences. Use them in conversations over the next week. I guarantee you'll notice an immediate improvement in how natural and confident you sound. Learning English isn't just about grammar rules and vocabulary lists. It's about connecting with culture, understanding how people think, and expressing yourself in ways that create real human connections. These 50 expressions are your bridge to that deeper level of communication. Keep learning, keep practicing, and remember, every expression you master is a step toward the confident, fluent English speaker you're becoming. You've got this, and I believe in you completely. Until next time, this is Aurora, encouraging you to keep growing, keep improving, and keep believing in your incredible potential. Your English journey is just getting started, and these 50 smart expressions are going to take you places you never imagined. The world is waiting to hear your voice. Make sure it's confident, natural, and authentically you.